Start by just lifting and rolling the shoulders. And we're going to start with a breath work just to re-energize us today. It's an upper lung re-energizer, so join in when you're ready. And last one. Feet slightly wider apart, lift and roll the shoulders, and then just swaying from side to side. You can lift your heels, you can lead with your navel. And then swinging your arms to and fro. Lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, hands up, clasp, reverse. Press your feet down and palms up to the sky. Breathing out to one side. Breathe into the center, stretch up. Breathing out to the other side. Breathing into the center and stretch up. Just turn slightly to one side. Come to the center and just turn slightly to the other side. Come to the center. Release your hands and place them on your waist. Breathing out, turn to look over one shoulder. Come to the center. And breathing out, turn to look beyond the other shoulder. It doesn't matter if you don't turn to get there, just in that direction. Come to the center. Just bend your knees and feel your abdominal muscles gently contracting and then coming back up again. Release your hands and lift and roll your shoulders. Just aim your knuckles to the ground. This opens you at the shoulder level, so it opens your lung meridians. And it's also very uplifting for the mood because you're lifting your chest, you're lifting your sternum. Release your hands, lift and roll your shoulders. And we come to the next lung exercise, which targets the mid-lung. By the way, these are all known for boosting your immune system, which I think is particularly relevant at the moment. And particularly also relevant anyway at this time of year. So join in, you're breathing in and out to the same, breathing in and out to the same length. Feel that you can adjust your hands, so you're making a loose fist, placing your fists under your arms, so this opens up the lymph system, and you're almost like a bird or a chicken because your elbows can actually connect and almost bang your ribs, your intercostal muscles, opening up your lungs and clearing your mid-lungs. So breathing, start when you're ready. So and last one, and release. Lift and roll your shoulders. Maybe step your feet slightly apart. And again, just swing from side to side. Lifting your heels if you would like, leading with your navel. You can look forward or look up, depending on your neck capacity. It is important to release on this wind down as it is to actually do the exercise. And then swing your arms to and fro. Lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, raise your arms up and clasp. Up to the ceiling. Breathing out, just go to one side. Come to the center. And breathing out, go to the other side. And come to the center. turn to one side and come to the centre. And turn one side and come to the centre. And then releasing your hands back down to your waist. Test your balance by just lifting your heels. You're inviting the left and the right brain cells to coordinate, parts of the hemispheres to coordinate. And then you've done better than me, releasing your feet back down to the ground. And just releasing your arms. Breathing in, just hold one side, pulse, lower. And then just hold your thigh, breathing in, lower. Circle your hands up, stretch your fingers. You can look up if your neck allows, if not, don't worry. Circle your hands down. And just open and close your fingers. You can flick them out. Toxins and arthritis tend to accumulate in the joints. And if you're working a lot with your hands, then this can release that accumulated toxins. You can also just pull your thumb, second, third, fourth, little finger and pull. Just creates a minor amount of, tiny amount of space. Just shake your hands out. So we come to the third breathwork exercise. These three exercises you'll find in a traditional form of yoga. I very much follow someone called Dr. Kumar, and he brought this particular aspect. Apparently it was the first time it's been brought to the West last year, and I followed him in London. Very inspirational, and these three are part of the Kerala Warrior exercises and martial arts and warm-up. So this gets rid of the stuff at the bottom of your lungs and also into your digestive system, tuning everything up. So again, joining in, I don't know if you can see me better like this, so it's... And then last one, and just release, come back to the centre, feet slightly hip width apart, and this time just sway from side to side. You can lift your heels, you don't have to. You're leading with your navel. You can go up to your shoulders, which just touches on Yantra Yoga, the medicine side of Tibetan yoga. You're grounding your all five energies, but you're also balancing your pelvis, your balance. So if you're not good at balance, this is a little mini nod to balance as you just sway from side to side. And then come gently to the centre, bring your feet together. And we're going to do some salute to the suns. There are versions. If plank doesn't suit you, it's quite a strong pose, then come to your knees. And I'll do plank and then just touch my knees down, but don't feel that you've got to, there are adjustments all the way around. So come to the top of the mat. Inhale and exhale, bring your hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, raise your hands up, looking up if that's good for your neck, otherwise looking straight ahead. Breathing out, bend your knees, bend your elbows and roll down, hands on either side of your feet. Slide or step your right foot back. At this point I'm going to keep high, but you may dip your knee down and keep it on the ground if that's softer.
Then slide your left foot back. I'm keeping high. You can kneel if you want to. And now I am going to kneel. I'm bending my bottom, bringing my bottom slightly back towards my heels. Then I'm coming forward and putting my elbows on the ground and sliding my hands forward. I'm then coming to slight cobra or almost mini sphinx. And then I'm going to come and lie on the ground on my front and extend my arms out in front of me. Slide my hands back to chest level, elbows come in. Press down with your hands to support you as you come up to kneeling again. Tuck your toes. Adjust your hands and your feet at any point in this as we come to downward dog. And just walk the dog, so that's bending one knee and then the other knee. You can sway your hips from side to side. Both feet extend, and then bend both knees back down to the ground. Your hands move to the left, and that gives space for your right foot to come up. Hands either side of your right foot again. And just allow yourself potentially to let your stretch forward. Your body weight is being supported by your hands, so there's very little pressure or danger on your knee. But if you want to keep strictly with yogic rules, then bring your knee back so that it's an angle of 90 degrees. But because you're coming forward and you're supporting the upper body weight, you're taking the weight of your body on your hands. And then tuck your back left toes underneath. Lift up your back left knee and step your left foot or slide it towards your right foot. You're in a forward bend. Your hands come onto your shins and press your hands onto the shins and sense that you're lengthening from the tailbone to the top of your head, all the way along the spine. Breathe out, bend your knees and bend your elbows out. Breathe in, press your hands on your shins. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, bend your knees, press your feet down. As you roll up, you can use your hands to trace your ascent upwards, come to standing. And then you can breathe in again, or do it all in one go to come lifting up and stretching up. You can look up, stretch your fingers, or look ahead, depending on where your neck is. And breathing out, lower your hands. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up, look up. If that's good for your neck, otherwise look ahead. Breathing out, roll down, hands either side of your feet. Step or slide your left foot back. Keep it high or low, it's your choice. Right foot back, high or low, your choice. Now, in any case, come to knees. Bring your bottom slightly back. Then slide forward with your hands until your elbows touch the ground. Bring your body through to lie on your front. Slightly mini, almost sphinx really, soft. And then come straight forward to lie totally on your front and stretch your hands out in front of you. You can, if you like, tuck your toes underneath and stretch your heels back. Come to line. Slide your hands back to your chest level, elbows in. Press down with your hands to come to kneeling. Tuck your toes. Adjust wherever you want to. And then come into a downward dog. Walk the dog. Alternate, bend one knee and then the other, and you can sway from side to side. Make sure your thumb and second finger are pressed equally into the mat. Your fingers are wide to fully support you. Then bend both knees back down to the ground. Hands go to the right. Left foot comes up and hands go either side of the left foot. Just stretch forward. And then tuck your back right toes. Engage your lower abdomen slightly and engage your perineum up. Lift your back right knee and step or slide your right foot to your left foot. You're in a forward bend. Place your hands on your shins as you breathe in, lengthening along your spine from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathing out, bend your knees, elbows go out to the side, your chin comes into your chest. And if you engage your perineum and just tummy in, then you've got a full Maha Bandha, engage all three bandhas, and then press your hands onto the shins as you breathe in again, and stay here as you breathe out. Bend your knees, press your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Breathe out. And then phase 2, breathing in, stretch your hands up, looking up if that's good, if not, look straight ahead. Hands down. If that was all right, we'll do the same again, but we'll just move it slightly faster. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathing out, roll down, hands either side of your feet. Step back with your right foot, choose whether you go high or low. Left foot in plank, or you can have your knees on the ground. Now knees on the ground, bottom back, slide through into Sphinx, and then straight onto the ground, stretching your arms out in front of you. Slide your hands back to your chest, elbows in, press down on your hands, come to your knees, tuck your toes, adjust to where you want you to come to a soft downward dog. Sway from side to side as you walk the dog. Bend both knees back down to the ground, hands go to the left, right foot comes up. This time, kneel up high, if that's available. If it's not available to you, don't worry, just miss the stage out, just look forward or up, hands open, palms open, then bring your hands either side of your front right foot, tuck the back toes underneath, lift up your back leg and step left foot to right foot. Hands on the shins, lengthen, breathe out, bend in. Inhale, lengthen, and then stay here as you breathe out. Bend your knees, press your feet down, roll up vertebra by vertebra. Arms up, stretch your fingers, lower your hands. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Drop your hands, lift and roll your shoulders and clasp your hands behind you, aim your knuckles to the ground. Separate your hands and slide them down the backs of the legs to the floor. Step back, left foot high or onto the ground, right foot high into plank, and then bend both knees to the ground. Bottom goes back slightly, slide forward with your hands so as you come onto your elbows. Come to line into a Sphinx or mini cobra. Come to line totally and stretch your arms out. Slide your hands back. Elbows in, press down, come to your knees. Come to tuck your toes and come down to downward dog. Adjust your feet and your hands. For lower back issue, always your feet wider and your knees bent is good. Sliding or walking the dog, swaying from side to side. Push back, bend both knees back down to the ground. Hands go to the right, left foot comes up. Hands either side of the left foot, and then kneel up. This is optional if your knee's not great, and open out your palms. You can look ahead or up. Come forward, hands either side of the left foot, tuck your back right toes under. Lift your right knee and step your right foot to your left foot. Hands on the shins, breathing in, lengthen, breathing out, bend in, breathing in, lengthen, and stay here as you breathe out. Press your feet down, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Breathe out, and when you're ready, raise your arms up. Stretch your fingers, looking ahead or up, breathing out, lower your hands.
So this next one is going to be quite quick, and we're going to more or less focus on one breath per movement. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathing out, roll down.
Step back with your right foot, left foot into plank. Bend your knees, bottom back. Slide forward into Sphinx. Come totally forward, stretching your arms out, your feet away. Slide your arms back, press down, come to kneeling, tuck your toes, come to downward dog. Just a couple of sways from side to side here, give you a chance to recover your breath. Bend your knees down, hands go to the left, right foot comes up, hands either side of the right foot, tuck your left toes, left foot to right foot, press your feet down as you roll all the way up in one breath.
Breathing out, lower your hands. And then inhale, exhale, this is the last round. Hands up, roll down,
Bending your knees, hands either side of your feet, step back, left foot, right foot, high plank. Bend your knees back down to the ground, bottom back, slide through to Sphinx, onto stretching fully out. Slide your hands back, press your hands down, elbows in, come to kneeling, tuck your toes. Come into a downward dog. Walk the dog. And then bend your knees back down to the ground, hands to the right. Left foot comes up, hands either side of the left foot.
kneel up, open out. Hands back down again, tuck your toes.
Right foot to left. Press your feet down as you roll up.
To standing and lower your hands. Take a moment to recover from that, breathing in and out. Just sway slightly from side to side. And just gently, hands up, breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up. You're slowing your movement down. Breathing out, hands down. Breathing in, hands up. And breathing out, hands down. Come now to lying on your back for a couple of moments. We're still going to let the movement absorb into the body. And come into a very brief Shavasana, but we're going to actually work our feet while we're here. So a classic Shavasana is hands up, but you can have hands up or hands down, or even hands resting on the abdomen. Just be comfortable for a couple of moments. Relax everything. Just gently roll your head from side to side. You don't have to roll it a lot. You'll find that there's a natural roll on the back of your head. Bring your head back to centre. Extend both heels so that the feet go upwards to the ceiling, and then point your feet away from you. Just careful you don't give yourself a cramp. So less is more. Extend your heels up, toes up, and then point your toes away. And again, extend your heels, and then toes go away. And come back. And then very gently roll your ankles in one direction. So in the same way that we opened our hands, we're now looking at the feet, just making sure that we're boosting the circulation, activating the many energy or meridian points that are in the foot. You think of reflexology. And then rotate your ankles in a different direction. And then stretch your toes and just relax them. And then bend one knee, bend the other knee, and then hug both knees into the chest. Holding your knees into your chest, just gently rock from side to side. Massaging across your lower back. Hugging your knees into your chest, both of them. Breathe in and extend your feet to the ceiling, and your arms go up. They can be bent at the elbows and behind you. You can still keep bending your knees. Extend your heels. Breathing out, hug your knees into your chest. Breathing in, extend your feet to the ceiling, arms go behind you. Breathing out, hug your knees into your chest. Breathing in, again, soles of the feet to the ceiling, arms behind. And breathing out, hug your knees into your chest. And again, stretch. Start the breath out and then start the movement. Finish your movement and finish your breath. And then just hug your knees into the chest and once more rock from side to side. You can rock right over onto your elbow if that is good for you. Your rock is entirely according to how you feel it works for you. And then hug your knees into your chest. Still holding your knees, let them move away from you to arm's length. Breathing out, hug your knees into your chest. And breathing in, let your arms travel to arm's length. Let your knees travel to arm's length. Hugging your knees in again. You're just moving up and down your spine in a slightly different way. Along your lower vertebra. And these vertebrae, particularly the L4 and L5 lung vertebra, are where we do all our movement. Bending and picking things up, swiveling around, twisting. So just keep on doing this. It's activating blood in that system. It's very releasing. It's a version of a yoga pose called Apanasana. And Apana is one of the energies, one of the 5 energies, and it happens to be foundational energy. So we start with the base. This is it. And then supporting your legs underneath, let one foot and then the other foot come back down to the ground, so your knees are upright towards the ceiling. And place your hands on your abdomen, your elbows are out to the side, and just, you might like to have your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Just let the knees drift from side to side. And you can involve your head optionally. As your knees go to one side, it lifts off the ground. Your head can turn to the other side. So you're very gently moving the base and the top of your spine, but supported by the floor. If you notice your hands are moving across your abdomen, and this can provide a lovely massage. Around the navel there are many acupressure points connecting to all our organs, so this can be a really double benefit to just gently massage across that area as you move and sway your knees and your head as well from side to side. And as you roll your head from side to side, you've also got acupressure points on the back of the head, so you're connecting into some of those. So it should be a very releasing and relieving pose. Bring your knees back to the centre. Pick up your right leg and cross your right leg over your left. Your hands can stay where they are. And just very gently sway the knees from side to side. Your sway will be slightly less. Optionally, you can lift both feet off the floor and hold your knees. Hold both knees, that will hug you in closer. Just either hug one knee or both knees. And you'll feel an opening on your right side on the outer edge of your hip, and that's your piriformis muscle. And then gently release, support your legs if you need to, as you bring your left foot down to the ground, and then remove your right foot take it off your left knee. Once more, sway from side to side, your hands resting on your abdomen with your knees. And then coming back to the centre, pick up your left leg and cross your left leg over your right leg, just swaying from side to side again. And then these are all optional. If you're happy to sway, you can stay like that. If you want to lift both feet off the ground, you can just hold your left knee. If you want to increase that, you can hold both legs. That brings your knees in closer to you. And you'll feel this on potentially your outer left side, in your left piriformis muscle. You can gently wobble from side to side. This pose also creates space at your lower back. And then just gently release and come out of that, release and take your left foot ankle off your right leg. And then raising your hands up, your knees are still bent. Hold your wrists with one hand and just stretch out, and then change wrists. The other hand holds the other wrist and stretch out. You'll find you gently go from one side to the other. You can do that again, holding the wrist with one hand, just stretch up, naturally slightly over to one side, and then stretch the other, hold the wrist with the other hand and just stretch up. And then lowering your hands once more back down to the ground. This time we'll have your hands palms down and just a little pelvic tilt. So flattening your back as if you're going to lift your bottom and then releasing. A couple of pelvic tilts. You can take it a stage further if you want to and actually lift your bottom up as little or as much as you would like. And then breathing out, lower your back down to the ground. If you want to do that again, please do, but you can also involve your arms. So as you press your feet down and lift your bottom, your arms can bend at the elbows and just raise above you. Your chin tucks into your chest. Lift up as little or as much as you would like, and breathing out, you lower back down again. And then one more bridge or rolling bridge of your choice, either involving your arms or not involving your arms. Press your feet down, raise up, chin comes into the chest. Engage your perineum up, make sure that your knees aren't splaying out, and then breathing out, roll down, vertebra by vertebra. And then once more, hug the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And then slide your hands down your shins. Your hands might come to the inside of your legs, so that you're holding just above the ankles, and you're coming into a kind of supine Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Your toes they're aiming together, but they don't have to touch. It's just opening up your inner groin, so it's opening, connecting into the lymph system, the lower energetic system. So your lymph, of course, is connected to your immune system. And you can just slightly wobble from side to side in a slight dynamic movement, or you can stay static, whichever you prefer. And then you've got a choice of either, depends on your arm length, I think, but you can either hold your big toes and open your legs up in a V to the ceiling. If your arms aren't long enough, then just hold your legs wherever that's viable to hold. And you can always clasp your hands underneath your thighs, your upper thighs, and just sway from side to side like a seaweed, moving with the water. It's a very subtle inversion. And inversions balance your hormonal system. You can also have legs up the wall. And you can also have your legs over a chair. Gives the almost the legs a rest. Your blood reverses. Blood's going back to the heart. Actually, even if someone has had, we were talking about eye operations, there are some eye surgeons, but I'm not necessarily recommending this, who say that doing this is actually very beneficial for the eye, even post-surgery, but of course you'll have to get signed off by a doctor first, because it's not putting pressure on your head, it's just a very gentle relaxation. But maybe a halfway house would be to have your legs resting over a chair, that's not quite so high. And then bending your knees, hugging your knees into your chest once again, and just rocking from side to side. And now just make little circles, both knees move in the same direction. So you're moving around the lower part of your spine, almost around a 50p piece. And then reverse your knees, you're holding your knees together, and you're moving your knees as if they're one, circling around your lower spine. And then very gently supporting your legs to place your feet back onto the ground. You can stay with your knees bent, they can be resting in constructive rest, so the knees touch together, or you can come into Shavasana, resting your hands either upwards in classic Shavasana, or you can rest your hands on your abdomen. And just bring your attention to your feet. Wherever they are, just slightly curl your feet in and relax them. Slightly tense your knees and your legs and relax. Tense your bottom and release and relax. Tense your hands and relax. Tense your whole arm and relax. Slightly lift your chest up away from the floor and then just release it back down again. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then release your shoulders away from your ears. And finish by just rolling your head from side to side. Come back to the centre. Choose a colour for today, any colour. And then just imagine wrapping yourself like an auric egg, inside and out. So you're cocooned in your auric egg, you're wrapped in your bubble of colour. And that confers positive energy only. Nothing negative can come in. Negative can go out, but only positive is allowed to reside in your bubble. And while you're in your bubble, you can have a thought for the day, your sankalpa. It can be for yourself, or it can be for somebody close to you, wishing them well, or a wish for yourself. And just mentally think of that thought for the day a couple of times. And then release that thought and know that it's set in your intention for the day or week ahead. And then you can either stay where you are, just relaxing and drifting off if you're comfortable, or if you want to join me to finish the class, then start to be aware of where you are, and perhaps move your fingers and toes, maybe hug your knees into your chest, and either rock to up or come to the side, but whatever, however you come up to a seated position, come up gently, no hurry. And then taking a bow for yourself, chin to chest, to have a lovely day and weekend ahead. And thank you very much for joining me.